Kisses sweeter than Tupelo, honey. Little bit crazy like New Orleans. Memphis.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Men's Basketball Edition. And my guest for this week's show is none other than a sophomore forward on the men's basketball team, John Paine. John, thanks so much for joining me on the show. You're very welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. Your sister, Jerusha, currently plays women's basketball for Notre Dame de Namur. You also told me right before we went live that you have one other sister currently playing, Joanna at Chico, and Janae at Metro State in Denver.
Yes.
Is there any type of natural sibling rivalry between you four, or what goes on there?
Yeah, of course. Growing up, we competed against each other a little bit, and then as we got older, we competed in stats because, you know, our games, you can't like go out in the backyard and play against each other because it's boy and girl, like, you know. But they played against their different levels of competition, and I played against mine, and we would always compare stats at the end of tournaments and stuff like that.
How awesome is it that you and your three sisters, your names all begin with a J? Was that planned by your parents?
Yeah, absolutely. I am the youngest of the three.
And a junior. Or a number two, excuse me.
I'm
John
the
Paine
third.
too. Oh, you're
I'm
third, okay.
Yeah. And my dad was definitely looking forward to naming his first son. However, he had three girls first, so he had to figure out a way to get that included. So yeah, naming them all J's was his little way.
Now you're from Portland, Oregon, and there aren't many professional teams around in Portland, Oregon, or in Oregon in general, but they do have the Trailblazers of the association. Are you a fan?
I am not a fan.
Uh-oh.
I spent my whole high school career being hated. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan. Always have been. Favorite color is blue. Favorite player is Dirk.
Okay, that was going to be the next question I had.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. So I don't know how it happened. I've never been there. I just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone else in the family like the Trailblazers, or do you have some support on the Mavericks?
No.
You're the rebel child.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, my brother's the same way. In my family, we're all Dallas Cowboys fans, which is a weird story, and Oakland A's fans. My brother, New Orleans Saints, and Arizona Diamondbacks.
Just random.
Yeah, just go figure.
Yeah.
Finds a player, goes to that team, likes them. Same with Dirk. Makes sense.
That's how it works.
Now, you are one of the few players who seems just as comfortable on this team playing as physical in the paint as you do, and also shooting a three from the corner on a wide open look. Where did you learn this versatility in your game that's made you so dangerous?
I think growing up, I played a lot of the post. You know, I got really comfortable in the post. I was the biggest kid, you know, early on, so I was down on the block, and that's kind of where my foundation is, you know, with the post moves. Got into high school, and everyone started getting bigger than me, so I went out to the three-point line a little bit. And it's just, you know, high school, that's what I just practice, you know, shooting the three, and it's not too hard when you're open.
Oh yeah, if you're open, you got to knock that down.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let's talk a little bit about the team here. Things have been going very well for Menlo College as of late. After the win yesterday against Pacific Union, you guys have an early 9-2 record. It seems like this team is finding multiple ways to win games instead of just scoring a bunch of points like you were early on in the season. Do you feel like the team's starting to come together now?
Yeah, definitely. I think a big part of our success this year is just people finding their roles. We all working together. We're all understanding what the other person's doing, and as we go on, we're just getting better.
For sure. Now, the way the offense has improved this season, obviously, it gets a lot of attention. You're averaging over 83 points per contest, which is over 10 points per game better than last year. How have you been able to get more points in the paint? Because that's really where the increase has been.
Yeah. Getting more points in the paint is definitely our focus this year. It's coach's emphasis. Ball doesn't score until it goes into the paint and then back out, so we call it inside out. And what we've found is it's easy to get any outside shot you want anytime in the game, and the best shots are the ones that go inside and then they go out.
Exactly.
And what happens is once they go inside, they go out, and then there's a hard closeout or something like that, and then you end up getting a layup. So that's where those points are coming from, is those extra passes and, you know, not settling.
For sure. And I think it was Caniella who told me on the first episode of Unrooted that the best shot for you guys to take is the one closest to the rim. Has he also been preaching that to you this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Layups are our priorities for sure.
And there have been a whole lot of those going on as of late. There are 3 new faces on the team this year: Charles Neal, Najai LeBlanc, and Henry Cornelius. Yeah. What have they been able to add, not only on the court, but also in the locker room and off the court?
Right. I think the biggest thing is we've been able to keep the level of intensity up throughout the whole game. I think having so many players that can come in and bring that same level, that we don't go up and down, you know, as long as we're staying up, it's really important. So yeah, and they're just doing their roles, you know, like everyone else is doing. So yeah, it's been really good to have them and have different threats, and everyone's bringing their own thing to the table.
Yeah. Now this is a weird little break for you guys because you don't have another game until December 10th, a Sunday game up in Humboldt against Humboldt State. Do you enjoy these periods of rest early on in the season?
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. Especially with finals coming up, it's nice to focus, you know, more on one thing than to be stressed out and trying to balance everything and
for sure
stuff. So yeah.
And I'm sure your professors also appreciate that in the scheduling as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, John, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 random off-the-wall questions. You give me your best answer. Question number 1. Which sport are your sisters definitely better than you at?
None.
None of them?
None.
You are better than them at all?
I mean, bowling probably.
Okay.
I'm pretty bad at bowling, but...
Well, that's one thing that I got you at, because I'm a bowler.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I believe you.
You just take my word for it?
Oh, I'm sure you're better than me. I'm horrible.
You don't need to hear any of the stories or anything, you know?
I mean, I'm happy if I, like, keep it out of the gutters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're like most people, I guess.
Yeah.
It is surprisingly a very difficult sport. I don't blame you for that. Question number 2. Which teammate of yours has the most random favorite sports team?
Tyler.
What team?
Dallas Mavericks.
He's also a Mavericks fan.
He is.
Now, how did that come? Was it the same thing, just a love for Dirk, or how did that come about? Do you know?
I don't, but it's something that we found out recently, and it's funny because neither of us are from there, and it's just the randomest thing.
And unfortunately, they're not very good.
Yeah.
Just had to say
that.
that.
Give it some time. Give it some time.
What, are we going to trust the process here?
Yes, exactly. That's what we do.
Question number 3. Which teammate would be most likely to be afraid of the dark?
Najai.
Why so?
I don't know. He's always so dramatic.
All of a sudden, the lights go out inside Haynes Prim before a game, and he's just going to freak out. He's going to be the one who
he's going to be talking first, for sure. He'll be talking.
All right, John, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, folks. Yeah, it's an off week for Menlo College men's basketball. They don't have anything going on this weekend. The only thing going on inside Haynes Prim Pavilion is a women's basketball contest, 6:30 p.m. tip-off against UC Merced. That one will be streamed live on the Menlo College Sports Network. Men's basketball is next in action on the road, a Sunday matchup against Humboldt State up in Humboldt. That is on Sunday, December 10th, and they will not be at home until they open up Golden State Athletic Conference play in the beginning of January 2018. We invite you to tune into next week's show. John Paine will select the next interviewee on Menlo Unrooted Men's Basketball Edition. Until then, we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.
Kisses sweeter than Tupelo.